Thanks for staying with us on this edition of Vision. Cedric Varner on this segment, this technology segment of Vision. We're talking with Dr. Kenley Obus, and he's the co-founder of Kindred Technology Group, LLC. Dr. Obus, thanks for being with us on the program.
Thank you, Cedric. Appreciate it.
Of course, we've been knowing each other for a long time. We've been working on trying to get you out here for a long time, like years now.
Hey, it works out. It works out eventually.
But we're finally able to get you out here, and of course, you've been doing a lot of great work in the technology arena for a long time.
Thank you.
I call and text you my questions all the time, all day long.
You got the hotline.
As you know, and I'm always frustrated because I'm not a technology person like yourself.
That's okay.
So you're an expert, and so just tell us about some of the services that you offer with Kindred Technology.
Great. Yeah, Kindred Technology, we've been around for about 9 years now. We specialize in web development, mobile application development, SEO, which is search engine optimization, and just web development in general, creating custom applications. And also something we're getting into more now is content development, which doesn't sound like it should be technology, but it is a big deal when it comes to developing websites and making websites, so you can find your content and locate you. So those are some areas we focus on. We also do a lot of website maintenance and just focusing on web applications and development in general.
Yeah, well, you do a lot of work across the board, and I've got one of your websites that we want to go to just for a frame of reference. I know people who have called you and they ask you, you go through the whole spiel. Of course, this is a business show. You give them your quote. You tell them, what you find out what they need, and you show them how you can accommodate. Now, you've been doing work with the Chamber of Commerce here lately. And some work with the city too.
Yeah, we do a lot of work with the city, the Chamber. We actually have a big arm which is working with a lot of municipalities. And,
so we got that Tech MGM site on the page now.
Right. So Tech MGM. The F-35 project was a pretty good project. It's even nicer that it got, it actually was a project that got success when it comes to like being actually recognized. Right. So that was a pretty cool project. I'm really excited to see that. So yeah, F-35 is a big one. Again, and the Tech MGM is also a big project also. Again, and I think when I say big, I'm saying it has a lot of stakeholders. It has a high impact for the city, which is pretty cool also.
Yeah, it's really good. Now, what are some of the points that you advise on people that they need to know when you're developing a website?
Great question.
Everybody, you got a lot of people that into the website development, consultation phase now.
Right. So and actually some of the small things, selecting the right font seems like a small thing, but font can relay a lot of messages when it comes to feeling and how people perceive it. Colors is a big component. Another thing I would also emphasize is making sure you have images that are related to your content. Also video, incorporating video into your website is a big deal now. It wasn't a big deal as maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, but now having video is a really key element of getting your website recognized. Content, I mentioned that earlier, but making sure the content is speaking directly to your audience. It's not cookie cut, and you take the time to research and find out who is the person you're targeting. I mentioned colors earlier, but making sure that everything represents your brand. Website is an extension of who you are, and unfortunately, a website that is not taking the time to recognize what's important can actually hurt your business, and vice versa. If you take the time to recognize what's important, it can actually help propel your business to another level.
That's good.
So it has two assets. Again, not the negative asset, and it could be a positive asset.
Right. Well, we got another one that we want to pull up on the screen so that our viewers can see what we're talking about. Now we're entering into political season. You even do those type of sites, and so one of your clients in another state, contracted with you, and so you're able to just roll out what she needed.
Right. This is what the Commissioner Johnson of DeKalb County. We actually do a lot of work in Atlanta, in the Atlanta area. So we created a website for her, and actually for another commissioner, 2 commissioners. And we're doing another commissioner's website also. And this is just another way that commissioners and politicians are finding out, not necessarily to get elected, but after you've been elected, to help and connect with your constituents and finding out what they need and what their requirements are. So this site here is an awesome site in the sense that it provides the citizens a way to interact with the commissioner. They can submit requests for if they see a problem. and to the commissioner, as well as give compliments and say, hey, great job, and this is this is what's working, what's not working. So going beyond the flash of having a website just for the sake of having a website, but making it work for you. And so we're seeing a lot of commissioners and politicians after the fact, not necessarily just to get elected, but after you've been elected, to find out how can I continue this momentum that got me into office.
That's good. That's good. And of course, we know social media is really really key for engagement these days, and so your sites are also able to help with that.
Right. So we do a lot of social media integration when it comes to doing content development for that. When I talked about the SEO, the search engine optimization, we incorporate Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those as platforms into your website.
That's good.
Again, it's not necessarily having your presence everywhere, but being effective where you are.
That's good. That's good. Well, now, of course, our segment that we were doing a little bit earlier, we were talking with our mayor, and we were talking about the F-35 project, and so you actually you actually developed a website for that project, which we're putting up now, and so this is just an example for our viewers now that can see some of your work we had a successful successful campaign to secure the F-35, so you got to take credit for it.
Right. So that was a pretty awesome project. Again, I worked with the Chamber, Meg Lewis, a few of the individuals on that side. Also got a chance to interact with the Red Tails on that project too. So I got to learn in depth of what's happening, the legacy, which I wasn't fully aware of. So that was pretty cool. That's one of the things I love about developing websites is you get to learn the backstory for a lot of these projects. So anyways, that was an awesome project. Again, we got some. We worked with a graphic designer locally, Errol Hilton out of Tuskegee. So we worked with him. We had they took it further and they used it we had a banner on the highway, a billboard. So it was a pretty awesome project. I'm really excited about the outcome, but even more excited about the result when it comes to being selected as one of the places for the F-35.
Yeah, well, your work has always been fantastic, and so we always look forward to hearing back from you as soon as we call. You respond as soon as you can, because you know it's me.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a key. I think that's one, and I'm glad you brought that up because I think anybody can develop websites. I think but I think what we try to do differently is connect with the client. And take in consideration what they're trying to do, explain to them, just don't force feed them a bunch of information, but really try to understand what their objectives are and how we can marry the two, what we're trying to get done for you, and as well what your objectives are, and give you a fine product. We have team members throughout the country, throughout the world for that matter. So we're able to give the best technology, newest and greatest, but at the same token, providing superior customer service, which is I think really important. Something unfortunately we see not as common in our industry as it should be.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, what is one thing that you would tell a business right now as it relates to technology?
Wow. Good question. Well, I think it's funny. One of the things I would recommend to do right now, if you have a website, you're just starting out, you're not sure where you should go out and claim your Google place, your Google business. Google business is basically your location and who you are online. If you haven't gotten a website yet, you need to just go out and create a Google business location, which is very easy to do. And you also need to, if there's one already out there, you need to claim it. And that's the first step. And then you can start building a website. But I say, if you had one thing, if I had told you, often I get access all the time, what's that one thing? Go out and claim your business, update the information there, make sure your number is accurate, make sure you have images there. That's the first step I would do. That's not even doing anything to do with web design, but that's just establishing your stake and saying, hey, I'm online and I'm here to do business.
Yeah. Well, that's really good. Well, of course, you helped me to do that a long time ago, and so we still working to make 100 on that. We're doing the best we can. We got another one of your sites we're going to pull up now. I think it's called the Mitchell Group. And what state is that?
That's also an Atlanta-based company. Now we were
now you got some local, but we're not trying to show all your local clients. So that's why we just do it like that.
And we were subcontracted with that project with an Atlanta group we do a lot of work with. And that was a construction company based at Atlanta, right around right outside DeKalb County area. So again, another project we did for a construction organization and helped them. They didn't have anything at the time, and just helped them take them from an idea to what was the project that you're looking at right now.
Now, So you talked about a lot of people doing websites. Do you recommend a person building a website on their own?
You know, I get that asked that question quite often. So I would say, you know, if you're just starting out, and you know, it's okay. You know, go ahead and just try it out. You know, go to GoDaddy or one of these type of Wix. It's okay to do that. I don't knock that. But eventually you're gonna have to graduate, you know, to having a professional web designer who understands colors and, you know, the color wheel and what fonts to utilize, how to get people to give you a call. You know, so it's one thing to have a presence, you know, but it's one thing to have a presence that works.
Right. So
I would say, you know, yeah, if you're just starting out, you know, we tend to work more with mid-sized businesses who have been around for about 2 or 3 years or so. So they've already kind of got a website already out there, but they're realizing, well, you know what, this is beyond just having a stage front or a storefront. Now I want to have an actual site that works for me, and that takes into consideration some best practices, some theories, some concepts that are going to make people say, hey, you know what, I want to do business with that organization. So I would say, hey, if it's just starting out, I'm not going to knock you, but eventually you're going to have to probably contact somebody. You know, you can only have, you know, your nephew do it for so long.
That's right. That's right.
And then you're going to have to hire a professional.
Now, because some people are really trying to use their websites for revenue generation.
It should be. I mean, that's the main goal. You know, if it's not helping you make money, then I think it's not working for you. It should be, you know, either having conversion, which means people calling you based on what that is, or doing transactions on your website. But your website should be basically your extension of your organization and helping you with revenue, but not necessarily directly revenue, but in a way getting people to call you, doing transactions, having a way to contact you directly. And that was go back to earlier, one thing I mentioned about having on your website, making sure you have a way people can contact you is really important, making sure that contact information is up to date and accurate.
Now, I've heard some people are using social media, some other forms of platforms to start their business before they do a
That's
website.
fine, you know, and I think that's you just want to get started, you know, it's all right, you know, and I know some individuals who have used Facebook for years only and don't have a website, but eventually you have to, because you don't control the platform. Versus a website, you can control your own web platform.
That's good.
But hey, if Mark Zuckerberg decides that, hey, I don't want this anymore, you're at the mercy of Mark. While, you know, you can do your own thing. And
Because Facebook belongs to Mr. Zuckerberg along with IG.
Right. So if they decide, hey, we don't want attorneys to have Facebook's pages anymore or fan pages anymore, you're at the mercy of, you know, of them. So I would definitely, it's okay to start out, but eventually you need to get your own thing.
All right, real good. Get your own thing. All right, that's going to do it for us, Dr. Obers. Thanks for coming.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Thanks again.
We learn a lot from you always. And so thanks for tuning in to this edition of Vision. Dr. Kinley Obers, and we'll see you next time.